Welcome one, welcome all to the newest tier list episode of Dragon Quest Boppy. Today we're going to rank all of the monster families that are available. And but I will say this. Honestly, it was kind of confusing to me because, for example, at first I was just gonna go off Dragon Quest XI, and like use the references from Dragon Quest XI in terms of like where the monsters are based. What families they're in, if that makes sense. But then I kept looking up images and stuff like that, and I saw that, like, for example, the Draki was in the bird family at some point, or I don't know. And so there's basically a little bit of confusion because, like, Dragon Quest Tact, for example, I think kind of reduced the amount of families, just kind of like Pokemon with Pokemon and then the Pokemon trading card game. There's only like 8 types compared to the Pokemon games. There's like 13. But anyway, so it got a little confusing. So basically, I just kind of I'm following the Dragon Quest Tact families just to make things a little easier. I also made some images here of each like families, some representatives from each family. They are a little small, so I do apologize, but I will basically be explaining which family it is and the monsters that are in the picture, and then maybe some other ones if I remember. But basically, let's get started. I apologize for that long intro. I just think it's kind of confusing, with this whole Dragon Quest families, stuff. Everyone's it just kind of changes every time. But there's some monsters that obviously always stay the same, like slimes. But anyways, let's move on. Okay, so first family we have here is the Beast family. So this is actually pretty easy. I would say that the Beast family is A rank. So I really like the Beast family's monsters. They're usually really cool. I mean, right off the bat, the easiest like ones that we know for sure is like the Saber Cat, the Great Saber Cat, and then I have the Orc King here as well. On this image. So the Orc King is very useful as a monster, especially in Dragon Quest V and in Treasures. They're a very good support unit and stuff like that. But besides that, this family's got awesome monsters like the Saber Cats, but also it's got really fun and charismatic monsters like the Platypunk, the Hammerhood. There's a lot of monsters in this family that are very iconic and very just charismatic. And so it's got a range of being very useful monsters, and also very epic, cool monsters, and then also very, fun, like cute or charismatic monsters. So A rank for me personally. I very much enjoy the Beast family of monsters. So yeah. So let's go to the next one. Okay, the Undead family. So the Undead family, I have it. The representation of the Undead family here is the skeleton. I forgot which one this one is called exactly. I think it's Undead Warrior or the Skeleton something. Skeleton Soldier, I believe, and then the Ghost. So this family, Undead family, has mostly like skeleton type monsters. Well, no, there's a lot of like dead looking things, including the Ghost, obviously. But it's an okay family, honestly. It's a good like family. It's just not my favorite family. Like this tier list is basically going off of like looks, not so much like utility or usefulness of like the monsters or whatever, especially in a Dragon Quest Tact sort of thing. I should, full disclaimer, I probably should have said this in the beginning. This is not a tier list from Dragon Quest Tact at all. I'm talking in general, the families I like, and it's mostly like off of like looks. I'll add in a little bit of things here and there for my opinions of each family, but I'm not like, if you don't know by now, okay, if you've watched me for a while, I'm not a very like in-depth analytical person. I am very just loud. I mean, I just like, I have opinions of things that I just want to talk about, and I just want to talk about this stuff, and that's it. There's no like super in-depth, thoughts that I have on anything. It's just really just I want to talk about it. So sorry if this is not, if that's what you were looking for. There's a lot of other Dragon Quest channels with people that are way smarter than me, but I'm just purely for fun here. So this is all entertainment. So anyways, you should know that by now, but I'm telling anyone that's, this is the first episode they're watching of my videos. Anyways, let's move on. So I'm actually going to put them in D. The Undead Family, because they're dead. But yeah, I mean, the Ghost is really fun, but I'm going to say this. The Ghost pisses me off in Dragon Quest Builders, okay? Those things are annoying as hell. No, but there are some charismatic monsters in there, and yeah, they're very annoying enemies to fight, but I understand their purpose, and they're still cool. There's still some really cool monsters. Anyways, let's move on to the next family. The next family is, so this is where it got a little confusing as well when I was looking up monsters and families. So this family here in Dragon Quest Tact is called the Inorganic Family, which makes sense. But in other games, it's basically split into two. There's the Machine Family, and then there's the Material Family. So it's kind of interesting. But I do like how Dragon Quest Tact kind of condensed it, because it makes sense. Like, you don't need all those different types of families. This makes sense. This makes sense. Inorganic. I get it. You know what I mean? But anyways, Inorganic Family. Super cool monsters. I mean, these two monsters that represent them are definitely the most iconic, unless I'm forgetting one. But the Killing Machine, I have a Killing Machine and a Golem here. And honestly, this family is super cool. I like them a lot. They're really intense. They're scary even. The Golem, when you fight a Golem, they're not necessarily the toughest enemies, but they do like to freaking hit you with like a crit, every now and then. Killing Machines can be kind of scary sometimes because they can attack twice. Overkilling Machines are kind of scary. But yeah, they're definitely really strong monsters and very fun, designs and stuff like that. So I really enjoy the Inorganic Family. I'm going to put them in A. I was actually thinking of going B, but at the end of the day, I really like this family as well. And yeah, mostly because they're very badass. Not badass, but just like really cool, like a cool family. Actually, no, sorry. I'm going to put them in B. I feel better for them being in B, only because the Beast family is special in my heart, in the sense of like how charismatic these monsters are. The Inorganic Family, although they are badass, they're not necessarily organic. they're not organic, so or gluten free. No, they're not like charismatic. They look cool, you know, which is cool. But anyway, I hope that makes sense on my explanation. um, let's move on. Okay, next family, demon family. So the monsters I have representing this family are the following: the Grim Keeper and a Draki. The demon family has very different kind of monsters that are involved with it. The imps are as well part of it. You know, there's like there's a lot of monsters that are part of it that are very iconic to the series. Um, but they're a great family. These monsters a lot of the time just scare the crap out of me, in the sense of they like to freaking play with your emotions. You know, they like to freaking the Silva Pathicus as well as part of it, from Dragon Quest II. Um, but it's just like a family that really likes to mess with you in an in an indirect way, by like poisoning you, cursing you, um, taking away your spells. Like, I don't know, just like they just like to mess with you. They're just jerks. You know what I mean? But it's still a fun family. These two monsters specifically that I chose to represent the family, I like the most. Um, and so, yeah, but they are kind of huge jerks. They still have great designs and like fantastic. It's a fantastic family. I'm gonna go with B, and I'll probably put it in front of in the first slot, just because the Draki is so charismatic and iconic, and like the imp too. There's very iconic monsters that are really fun, to have part of your, if you do, or if you are playing a game where you can recruit monsters and stuff like that, these are definitely fun monsters to have on your team as well. So yeah, that's kind of where I would put them. Okay, Dragon family. So I've got a great dragon and a salamander fry representing the dragon family in this case. Um, what can I say? The dragon family is just badass, dude. They are so powerful, so cool, so epic. You know, you got the boreal serpent as well. You've got the mandrake majors. You've got really cool freaking looking monsters. Super badass, just like super powerful, big, scary, you know, epic, monsters. And so they're really, really cool, really fun. Um, so yeah, I mean, they're just awesome. I'm gonna put them in A rank, and I'm gonna put them probably behind the Beast family. So I I really love the dragons, and I really love the Beast family. But I would say I like the Beast family just a little bit more, mostly because of how charismatic the majority of the monsters are in the Beast family. So again, I'm basing my stuff off of like, you know, my emotions as I've played the games over the years, and how I feel when I see these monsters. And although, the dragons are cooler in every sense, well, not all the dragons, but some of them, compared to some of the Beast family monsters. The Beast family monsters, again, just always put a smile on my face. The freaking, you know, the Hammerhood, the Platypunk, like it's just they're fantastic families of monsters. So they're both A rank, but again, I would just put the Beast family just a little bit higher on the list because again, they've just had great moments over the years in the games. Like one of the moments that comes off the top of my head is in Dragon Quest VIII. It's the beginning area, but you run into like the Hammerhoods and the Hammerhead that's blocking the way into the cave to find like the crystal ball for example, which was really fun, a little fun event, a little fun like story quest sort of thing. Hammerhoods and Dragon Quest Builders are really fun as well. Yeah, it's just in general, they're just a great family. So, anyways, yeah, let's move on. So this next family is the Nature family, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't like this family that much. um, I don't hate them. I would probably put them in D, but like the lowest of D, just because like they're not very appealing or charismatic. I have a Cactoball and the Lips monster that's representing the family. I put the Lips monster mostly because of how iconic it is, and the Cactoball is somewhat charismatic, so I like that monster and the design. But there's not very many charismatic monsters in the Nature family. And I'll be honest, although Lips is fun as a monster and a great meme, which I've like overused for like memes on Reddit in my early days of posting, which was like months ago, and I got so much crap for it. People were sick of my shit posting with the Lips monsters. But anyways, they are kind of creepy, and I would not want to get kissed by one of those. So anyway, so yeah, I would say D, lowest spot in D. So yeah. Anyways, okay, this is where it gets kind of interesting with the families. So originally, I wasn't gonna add these next two families at all. There's the triple question mark family, which is basically just bosses from what I saw. Because like I looked up some of them in Dragon Quest 11S, and then in Dragon Quest like wikis and stuff like that, and there's they're just bosses from what I've seen. So basically, bosses is what the triple question mark family is, and the one to represent the family is Sorrow. So honestly, the bosses are epic. I understand. It's funny because Sack Chief came out with a video talking about how the monsters, the bosses, the final bosses from Dragon Quest games are boring. Which honestly, he makes a really good point, and I do agree. But I'm such a simpleton, I don't care. And so, for me personally, I think the final bosses or bosses in general are so epic, so cool, so like interesting, especially Sorrow because he's actually got personality, and his design is so sick that I would say these guys are S tier. They're just so iconic in the series, you know. They're such a big part of the games that we play, and it's always a great time. You know what I mean? So I would say that I would say S tier for the triple question mark family, which is basically the bosses family. Again, I was gonna just skip over these next two, the triple question mark and then the hero or humanoid family, because they're not really monsters. I mean, well, I guess you could argue that the question mark monsters are family are monsters, but the hero family is not. Anyways, doesn't matter. So yeah. So anyways, the triple question mark is S tier, and then the next family is the hero family or the humanoid family, and I got Yangus representing the hero family and Hunkel from Dragon Quest Dai, which is one of my favorite characters from that show. Probably my favorite, but well, then there's Pop. I don't know. It might be a tie. Anyways, yeah, they're fantastic. We all know that we love the heroes. I mean, if we didn't love the heroes, we wouldn't love these games, you know? So that's an easy S tier as well. And I would say right in front of the badass final bosses. So yeah, so that it's pretty easy. You know, the hero family is just S tier because, you know, their designs are cool, their personalities are great, they're fun to have on your party, to learn more about them, to play with them. You know, yeah, they're just fantastic. So obviously there's some characters that are better than others. That's why I have my personal favorites up here representing the hero family, Yangus and Hunkel. But yeah. Anyway, let's move on. The slimes. The slimes. Okay. Listen. The slimes, they get their own tier, bro. They get their own damn tier. You know why? Because they're slimes. They get the S slime tier. SS slime. That's the tier they get. SS slime. For slime. I mean, what can I say? The slimes are my favorite family. By far. They're the funnest family. They're in every game. They're the funniest family. They always have... Well, no, I wouldn't say they're the funniest. But they always bring the biggest smiles on my face. They just look like goofy, fat, chubby, chunky, you know, monsters full of... Like, you know, they just don't look like they have an evil bone in their body. Get that? Get it? Because they don't have any bones. They're just it's just such a fun family to either have in your crew, have in your party, fight, like in all senses of the word. They're just so much fun. Yeah, slimes are the best. I mean, they're just the best. I mean, slimes is what made this series stand out, you know. And the slime is the Pikachu of Dragon Quest, you know what I mean? Yeah, the slimes are just the best, dude. I mean, if you don't like a slime, you don't like Dragon Quest. You know what I mean? Like, you just don't. So yeah, I absolutely love the slimes. That's why they're SS slime. So anyways, that's basically it, guys. Let me know what you think about the video. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if my list is whack as hell or if you like it. Would you whack my list or thwack my list or, you know, like it? Yeah, let me know what you guys think and where would you put your families. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you're interested at all, check out my Patreon. I'd appreciate it. Either way, I definitely appreciate you guys so much for watching. And we will see you guys next time. Peace!